Good day to you, everyone. It's not news when you say that election is behind the corner, very fast approaching, and I just want to talk about my own personal opinion based on the three solid candidates that's contesting for the election, and I believe everybody already know who they want to vote for. I want to tell everybody today that your vote counts. Yes, your vote counts a lot. So get a PVC and vote for who you actually think Nigeria deserves. And I will share my opinion based on what I feel, my personal research and my personal opinion, and I am not responsible for anyone to broadcast or to share what I say or to quote what I said. Please do that on your own. So I'm going to be talking about these three people, and I will be representing them with three colors or privacy. So the first one is white, second one is blue, the third one is green. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, there is no bad man among these three. They are all candidates and they have different background, they have different stories, and they are in different parties. So these will always give them strength and weaknesses against one another. I will be talking about the first one, the blue. As far as I'm concerned, the blue is not a bad man, it's not a bad man with a record. The blue has served the government as the vice president in the past. So the blue has been trying to run for the same election for the past maybe 5 or 6 times now, and he has not won it. So he's always doing everything possible to be in that position. So as far as I'm concerned, the blue has been doing a lot. And the previous election, I was actually lucky to be one of the ad hoc staff that conducted our election, and I can tell you our vote counts. Yes, I can tell you our vote counts a lot. And I tell you another thing that counts is power. Power also matter, especially for a ruling party. They have power, and that's give this man, the blue man talking about, a disadvantage. If he's voting, the man was actually massively voted, but because of what people wanted and because of the force behind Buhari, he will actually won the election, and it's not a new thing when I say that. So during that era, I can believe this blue man was actually in media, he's in the internet, he's in news, he's everywhere, and he struggled to ensure that he win the election. He struggled after the election as well, taking the INEC to court and doing a lot of things, but at the end of the day, Buhari announced as a winner and his regime started there. Now, I want to tell you that the same man is not doing those things now. In my personal research, is not doing those things right now. In fact, prior to this election last year, I think I heard the news that he was actually in the UK. He was trying to adopt the style of Donald Trump back then. Trump when he was vying for US presidential election. So Donald Trump used personal data, our privacy and policy, to show individual ads when you deserve it, when you wanted it, and that's what Donald Trump used. And I can remember back then, Donald Trump was spending around 100 million on Facebook ads every day prior to the election. So this blue man was trying to adopt that strategy as well. And apart from that, he's been doing a lot of things underneath. He has spent a lot of money to a lot of people to ensure that the election worked in his favor. And importantly, to me, I think he's friend to Kaba. Yes, because this Kaba are working enthusiastically against the ruling party. Everything that is happening in our country today is the work of Kaba, not the president. I want to tell everybody that Nigerian problem is not our president. Do you have to say that again? The Nigerian problem is not the president. So if you think selecting or electing this man will be the solution to Nigerian problem, please, is a misconception. There is no president, as far as I'm concerned, that don't have a good intention for Nigeria right from the inception. Do you want to talk about the former president Olusegun Obasanjo? Do you want to talk about the era of Yaradua? Do you want to talk about the era of Goodluck Jonathan? Do you want to talk about Buhari himself? If you want to say Buhari don't have a good intention for Nigeria, he does. He does have a very good intention. The problem is the Kaba. When Buhari assumed office, the first regime 8 years ago, they almost took his life. Do you know why? Buhari was known as a very strong man, and that was why people was actually voting for him. In fact, history made us understood that Obasanjo going to prison was as a result of Buhari. It was Buhari that led him there. So even Obasanjo himself respected Buhari for who he is. So the Kaaba believed that when Buhari enters, he is going to be their enemy. So when he actually assumed the office, he was actually their enemy and they wanted to take his life. And it's not an issue if I start telling you what happened back then. The poison is easy to ensure that whenever you breathe in, he's breathing in poison and so on. So we all know what happened back then, traveling helter skelter to ensure that he get back his health. And I can't say what happened now. All of a sudden, he was back to his feet. So this was happening in the top. So the problem Nigeria have is not the president himself, it's the Kaaba. Now, do you still want to vote for a weak man? No, to me, I think we deserve someone strong. I think the blue is friend to all this Kaaba, and that's why it's not been on the media for a long while now. There are still a lot of them, and a lot of people is working enthusiastically against the ruling party to distort their name, and this ruling party has been strongly distorted. Imagine what you and I are seeing in the streets. Naira redesign, fuel hike, inflation, and so on. Just look at it. This is not actually the single-handedly and the work of our president. This is the work of the Kaaba. I'm going to be telling you the secret that you and I, they don't want us to know in the streets. So this is the disadvantage of this blue man. If he's friend of these people, the Kaaba wants him, then we don't need someone like that. Who the Kaaba wants? No. We need someone who against them and who is stronger enough to overcome them. Someone like Buhari is strive very hard to overcome them. The green man is not a bad man as well as I'm concerned as well. He's been a very strong man and is part of the ruling party. So what happened back then is when it started the primary election, the Kaaba, I don't want to say the Kaaba back then because they were actually the men in the Aso Rock. They have their own candidate as well because they are also in the ruling party. But this green man did not select them as a running mate. So they ran against him in the primary election and he won. When he won, he came out as the strongest man among them. He did not still pick them as his running mates. So he went elsewhere to select his own vibes and as his running mate. And that's where the nemesis started. So that's when the nemesis started. And one of their pick, one of the person he selected is now the CBN governor. And that is what is happening today. So they believe that this man is a very strong man. So even if this man will come out as president, they want to distort his name. They want people not to believe in him. They want people to go elsewhere and select the other man. And that's what's happening today. They redesigned the currency and lied to the president. President did not wanted what is happening, but he was lied to. They lied to him that they are going to print 700 billion new naira notes in circulation, that will be enough. So the president agreed to that, but unfortunately, they printed 400 billion naira notes. And even if they had printed the 700 billion naira notes, it couldn't have been enough in circulation. We need up to like 3 trillion of that denomination in our circulation for it to be enough. So they went ahead to print 400 billion. So they lied to the president that 700 billion was enough. So the president gave him the go ahead. They went ahead to start the naira redesign. They redesigned it. We had shortage of the currency. It's affecting everybody. This is actually their plan. And that's the problem we have. So it's not president himself. So this is actually distorting the ruling party, and that is why people are shouting helter skelter that no, we don't want this man, we don't want his successor. Now the green man I'm not talking about is also disadvantaged in terms of his age and in terms of what he's been saying in media, because when he speaks for 1 hour, everybody wants to laugh because of the because of everything we've been hearing. So we all understand that, and the age is not is an advantage. But apart from that, this man is a strong man, he's a powerful man, he's the only one that can actually defeat the Kaaba unless we don't want somebody who is going to be friend to the Kaaba. So you now ask me that why is the Kaaba always want the other way around while the president is striving for the harder for the good thing? Now I want to tell you, do we even know the inception of Boko Haram? Do we even know the inception of this Niger Delta problem? Just yesterday I was listening to news. In the news I heard the previous government promising the Niger Delta of restructuring and what they would do, but today they didn't do it. An average person will be shouting, this our government is not good, they are not doing this, they are not doing that. Now let me give you a secret about this. Do you know that when there is oil spillage in those Niger Delta, they left that spillage intentionally? They are not doing anything about it out of intention. It is the work of the Kaaba. The reason is because when that oil spillage is left on the ground for a long period of time, all the grasses that grow on that land is a very strong fertilizer, and it's been exported out of Nigeria, is sold. Do you know about that? But average person don't know that, and that's why when they restructure Niger Delta, reconstruct it so that they don't have oil spillage again, what happened to those Kaaba that are making their money from the fertilizer? You see what I'm talking about? And that is why they don't want government to do anything. Then apart from that, if you still move on to the northern part, there's a lot of things that's happening. Do you know there is one natural resources in Borno today that is worth more than gold, it's worth more than crude oil. One of these is up to like 24 million US dollar. Just one. I think it's called I can't remember the name. It's worth it, and that is why you have a lot of NGO going to Borno and going to Borno State with satellite, with computer, with cell phone, and doing a lot of hate. That's what I'm talking about. So this is why a lot of things not been done. And when you say president, we need someone who is stronger enough to overcome all these things. Otherwise, things will remain the same. And this is why I think we need someone like Mr. Green to stand against the Kaaba, to defeat them for Nigeria. Mr. White is what everybody wants. We love him, we want him. When he stands in the media, everybody loves his quotes, his words. He's always in our side. That's actually the truth. Mr. White is always standing out. He don't have a bad record of embezzlement and with the black guys. No, we don't. And during his 8 years spell as a governor, it's been good according to what we hear in the news. But how many people actually take their time out to study his time when he was actually the governor in Anambra State? This man had 8 years spell in Anambra, and today as I'm talking to you, he could not go back to that Anambra for rally. Why? That's the first question I want everybody to ask themselves. Why? Then back then he had a running mate, he had ministers, he had senators among people that they ran, that they had that government together. But until today as I'm talking to you, most of these people are not by his side. Why? He would not even go back to his hometown to do anything. Why? And people just listen to his voices in the internet, on the television, and they just love everything. Wow, this, wow. And to me personally, I don't hate him, I like him as well. But one problem I have with him is that he's a soft man, he's not a strong man. He's not the type of person that go to stand against the bad guys and defeat them. He's not the kind of person that we can all say, yes, go, we are behind you, and he's going to do it. No. He's the kind of person that don't like joining the bad gang and always try to do his own by the side. That's who he is, and that's why he doesn't have a lot of bad record. Because when you're actually trying to fight people, you come to realize that you have a lot of record, you have a lot of haters. Yes, in fact, it is even the good men that has haters most. That's what I observe. So when you see people talking about somebody being good, try to study them. They might have a very strong shortcoming, or they are not strong enough. So that's what I feel about this white man. And then apart from that, he's also standing out because in his side he has age in his side, and he has a very good intention, and he has been spoken well in the media. So it's a good advantage on his side as well. So This is what people want. I want you to take a deeper breath, do some research, find out what we actually need apart from what we want, and just do the right thing in the day of election. This cabal are provoking us to go out there in the election day and distort and fight. No, please, I'm urging everybody not to do that, please. Go out there in the day of election, vote wisely, and go back to your house, please. Don't join the bad guys. Don't be the bad one, and vote wisely. Let's be peaceful in this election. Let's take a cognizance and learn from the story of Haiti. Haiti, since 2016 or 17 until today, they are not the same. Their country is not the same. And until today, as I'm talking here, Haiti don't have a president. The government of Haiti until today is ruled by G9, just a gangster. You can imagine that. It's as a result of people fighting for government. Please don't fight for government. We don't want to record that kind of story in Nigeria here. We want peace, we want harmony, we want happiness, we want joy at the end of the election. We want free and fair election, and that's what I believe is going to happen. We have been provoked. We believe that Naira redesign and everything. So we just want everybody to take it easy, take it simple, and believe in ourselves. So this is where I'm going to stop. Nigeria, think about the right thing, and let's go out and do it in peace. Thank you.